Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's man. Touchdown, Chicago! A big play there. 84 yards. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
I'm impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
A gain of 3, second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. They run it here with Thompson. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover.
Touchdown, Chicago! As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears are in for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, It's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. Now Thompson. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Thompson. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run with Thompson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now out comes Minnesota. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he takes it across midfield to the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And an alley to run. There he goes inside the 30. Past the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to take the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
They always that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Back to throw here. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. He's at the 40. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And this will be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Howell. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? And Marvin right now is just toweling it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or Keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy.
Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. In for the score. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Broken tackle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Oh, another great move. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Green 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag. Completed it very well.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team.
Through an opening, and there he goes. 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Carlson now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. It's man. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Set. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to wind up and air it out. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bears get a bit closer. So it was 4th down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. Fourth down there, going for it. But they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. What we do know, Charles, they will be in the playoffs. They currently sit at pole position #1, but nothing's set in stone right now. They still have to earn that top spot.
And it makes me reflect back to preseason when you and I do our tours of camps. The prevailing message in each and every one of them was what? Win the division.
Win the division.
Win the division. You know you're in the playoffs. It means something. It means a home game. It means a number of other things, but winning the division is paramount. You're right. They won't step off the gas here.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Through, and he's got space. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And spins away. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. But he was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
4th down. Here's Jackson. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. stays on his feet. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Carlson now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Howell. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Oh, some strong running. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a bit.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Looking to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now out comes Minnesota. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 52 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
First seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Gain 13 yards that time and another first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Every variety of run we wanted to see, we got to see. And a brand new record has been established today.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And McDonald here over the middle. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them.
Now let's go. 3-19.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys are just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.